News.mc on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Bringing you news on Monaco's economy, culture, sports and more. Welcome to News.mc, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Coming up on News.mc, discover past week's top stories and meet the people who make Monaco.
My name is Lorena Sautu, founder of CSOS, and you are watching News.mc on Monaco Info.
What's been making headline in the past week? His Serene Highness Prince Albert II inaugurated a special exhibition at Cap Martin on Thursday the 28th of August, commemorating 60 years since the death of Le Corbusier and celebrating the 50th anniversary of the French Coastal Protection Agency. Titled Le Corbusier at Cap Martin, Intimate Memories, the exhibition pays tribute to the architect's deep personal connection to the site where he built his minimalist cabanon retreat in 1952. Unlike his monumental works, the cabanon reflects simplicity, nature and introspection. The event highlighted both cultural heritage and environmental protection, as the Cap Martin plot is also a vital ecological site. Visitors toured the cabanon and Eileen Gray's villa, celebrating a rare intersection of architectural history and Mediterranean conservation. The Ocean Race Europe made its first ever French stop in Nice on Friday the 29th of August, drawing crowds to the Amiral Infernet Quay, where 6 high-performance IMOCA monohulls, including Team Militia, are moored. Visitors explored the open race village, admiring the cutting-edge boats and meeting crews ahead of the next leg to Genoa. The fourth leg set off from Nice, with the fleet rounding a scoring gate in Monaco, awarding bonus points to the leading teams before continuing past Corsica, Elba and the Tuscan coast en route to Genoa. Team Holcim led the stage, followed by Biotherm, while Monaco's Team Militia initially held 5th place. Ultimately, Biotherm claimed victory in the penultimate stage in Genova, navigating the light and shifting winds more effectively than rivals. Team Militia, sailing under the Monaco Yacht Club banner, struggled in the changing conditions and finished 6th. The final leg of the 2025 Ocean Race Europe will depart Italy for Montenegro on September 15th, marking the conclusion of the 5-stage competition. Monaco's medieval combat team, the Grimaldi Milites, is gearing up for the French Cup of Bayeux, taking place on September 13th and 14th in Gabarnac, New Aquitaine. Practicing in full historical armor weighing up to 30 kilograms, the fighters train for this intense team sport where nearly all forms of blows are allowed. The aim is to bring down all 5 opponents in 2 winning rounds using impact strikes, grappling and historical weapon replicas, checked for safety but still punishing. Without weight classes, the sport demands strength, strategy and awareness. For the Grimaldi Milites, every training session sharpens their focus and technique ahead of one of France's most anticipated medieval combat tournaments. Michel Dotter, newly appointed president of the Monte-Carlo Golf Club, has outlined a vision of sustainability and youth engagement for the prestigious club. A lifelong golf enthusiast, Dotter aims to maintain the club's high standards while reinforcing its environmental commitments. The club has held the Golf for Biodiversity label for 5 years, and in 2025, the focus will remain on course upkeep, with minor improvements depending on budget. A free golf school has recently been opened to non-members' children, encouraging younger players. Dotter also announced a tribute to the late Henri Ray, former president and close friend, with a commemorative stone to be inaugurated by His Serene Highness Prince Albert II. Monaco Yacht Club's flagship vessel Twiga suffered a dramatic demasting over the weekend during a violent storm off the coast of Menorca on August 31st. The incident occurred during the regatta of the Balearic Islands, when the crew was caught in severe weather and heavy gusts, as captured in striking onboard footage. Thankfully, no injuries were reported among the crew. The historic yacht, a symbol of Monaco's sailing heritage, will now be towed back to its home port for repairs in the coming days. The club has not yet confirmed how the damage will affect Twiga's participation in upcoming regattas. The Monaco Yacht Show will return to Port Hercule from September 24th to 27th, bringing together 550 international exhibitors across 16,000 square meters of exhibition space. A major economic and cultural event for the Principality, the show is now in its final installation phase, requiring more than 400 truck deliveries to set up. Dedicated areas will include spaces for interior design, refits, innovation, and adventure equipment, with super yachts once again lining the harbour. Organisers continue to refine logistics each year to minimise impact on the city centre. Traffic measures begin September 15th, with closures around the swimming pool road during the event. Monaco marked the 81st anniversary of its liberation on September 3, 1944, with a day of remembrance, celebration, and reflection. Ceremonies began at the Monaco Cemetery, where officials and citizens gathered to lay wreaths and honor those who gave their lives for freedom. A parade of 12 vintage military vehicles traveled through Rue Grimaldi to the Maison de France, carrying participants in period uniform and drawing large crowds. French and Monegasque authorities joined to pay tribute, notably remembering René Borghini, a resistance fighter and secretary of the National Council who was executed just weeks before Monaco's liberation. Later, the Palace Square was animated with music, dance, and even a distribution of chocolate, recreating scenes from September 3, 1944. The commemorations were both a tribute to the past and a reminder of peace's fragility today. Next up, our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
My name is Lorena Saltu, founder of CSOS. I was born in Buenos Aires. I did part of my high school in the United States, in New Jersey. Then I spent all my younger years, let's call it like this, doing international business based on Buenos Aires, but traveling a lot to Brazil, Mexico, United States. I studied a little bit high school in the United States. Then I studied university, my first license in university in Argentina. Let's call it like this. For me, study is a hobby, but also it's a place that I visit when something wrong is in my life, like a divorce or something is going on, like a sickness. I've been very sick when I was a child. I had a neuromuscular disease. I focused my mind in learning something new. So for me, studying has always been a safe place. I think that psychology is a very modern concept, but it's not new at all. I think since we start thinking and philosophizing about life, we have big questions about ourselves. Like what is desire, what is love, what is going on with me, why we do certain things, and how to avoid suffering. I think the big enigma of human beings is how to avoid suffering and the anguish we have towards life and this unbearable sickness of living. So I founded an association that gives free emergency therapy internationally in 3 languages, in this moment in French, in English, and in Spanish. It's called PSOS, like Psi of psychology, and SOS like for help. And people can call and they have like a hospital emergency attention for free. Then if they want to continue doing therapy, they can do it for a very little price, affordable, that maybe this is what happens in Europe. Doing therapy or in the United States is something very expensive and luxurious for very little, for the minority. So in this way, it's accessible for everybody. When we work in ourselves in terms of knowing what are our conditionings, why I act like this, what is my primordial trauma, where I snap, no? When I know this, I stop the chain of automatic repetition. We have this obsession to avoid suffering, but suffering is part of life, and suffering is extremely necessary. We fantasize that we are going to raise children with no suffering, with no lack, with no desire, because you can only desire what you don't have. You can only fight to have what you crave to have. And we completely deprive our children of this suffering, of this longing, of this craving, of this searching. So they did not structure a strong mindset. We need to keep critical thinking. What is critical thinking? And this is the part that I see a little bit dangerous. Okay, we have the revolution of internet, okay? Before we used to go to libraries and read books and search for books. Then came internet. We have a new oracle. I think humans always need oracles. And we ask the oracle of Google. And Google give us 100 websites or 200 websites that we need to go inside, read, analyze. So the truth is still something that I need to process. I need to learn, assimilate it like a digestion, and decide which one is the truth. I think that the dangerous part now is that all this process today is vanished. I go and I ask GPT, what is the answer? Telling me this is the truth. And my big question is, who is shaping this truth? Palo Alto, Silicon Valley? Are we going to be shaped what is considered the truth by Silicon Valley? This is the part, no? And this part that we just spoke, that the artificial intelligence sometimes don't tell the truth. I did not have too much idea about Monaco. I came to Cannes Festival 17 years ago, and we were driving with friends all the way to Sanremo. And then I saw all this part, like Monaco, and all the way, you know, by the Corniche. And I said, oh my God, what a beautiful place. I like the place, no? The cliff, the roadways. And I said, I want to live here, you know? I want this to be the place where I live. I was living in Barcelona back then with my children. I have 3 boys. And for me, French Riviera was a good place. I'm an adventure person, you know, so I say, let's go there. Wherever we found a place to rent, we land there. I think today it's a fantastic place, and from here as a base can travel and always come back. I always say Monaco is a wonderful place that you are very happy to live, but you are happier to come back.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching News.mc, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover the full interview and more stories on our websites, News.mc and MonacoInfo.com. Next week, we will receive Marc Muru, leader of Génération Monaco. This show is intended to provide a summary of the past week's top stories for the English-speaking audience. For daily and real-time news updates in English, please visit News.mc and subscribe to our free daily newsletter. For French news, visit MonacoInfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.